Hey everyone, welcome back to ClearTalk English. I'm Sarah, and this is the podcast where we help you improve your English through real, natural conversations. No textbooks, no grammar drills, just two people talking about real life.
And I'm Mark. Really happy to be here today. This is actually one of my favorite topics we've covered so far.
Mine too, honestly. So today we're going to talk about something that I think is really close to everyone's heart: life goals and dreams. Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? What did you dream about as a kid? How do you stay motivated when things get hard?
Yeah, and I think what's great about this topic is that everyone has a different answer. There's no right or wrong here. It's super personal.
Exactly. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Stick around. I promise this one gets really interesting. So Mark, before we get into the big questions, how are you doing today? Are you feeling like someone who's got their whole life figured out, or more like the rest of us?
Definitely more like the rest of us. I had a cup of coffee this morning and stared at my to-do list for about 10 minutes without doing anything. So yeah, very much a work in progress.
Same. I actually woke up this morning thinking about this episode, and I started writing down some of my goals, and I realized, wow, some of these things I've been saying I want to do for like 3 years now.
Oh, that's such a relatable feeling. It's like every January you write the same goals and by February you've kind of forgotten about them.
Exactly, which is actually something we're going to talk about: how to actually make progress on your goals, not just dream about them. But first, I want to ask you something a little more personal. When someone asks you what your big dream is, what do you say?
That's a good one. I think for me right now, it's building something of my own, like a business or a project that I'm really proud of, something where I can say, I made that. What about you?
For me, it's more about freedom, I think. The freedom to work from anywhere, to have time for the people I love, and to keep learning new things. I don't have one specific dream, it's more of a feeling I'm chasing.
Oh, wow, I really like that way of putting it. A feeling you're chasing. That's beautiful.
Okay, let's go back in time a little. Mark, what did you want to be when you were a kid? Like, what was your big dream at age 7 or 8?
Oh, this is embarrassing. I wanted to be an astronaut. Like, fully seriously. I had NASA posters on my wall. I watched every space documentary I could find. I was convinced I was going to go to the moon.
That is amazing, and clearly that did not happen.
No, it did not. I mean, I'm still slightly disappointed about that, if I'm honest. But somewhere around age 13, I realized I really didn't love science class that much, and the astronaut dream sort of quietly faded away. What about you?
I wanted to be a singer. I used to perform in the living room for my family, my parents, my little brother, and I genuinely thought I was going to be famous. I had a whole plan.
No way! Can you sing?
I mean, I can carry a tune, but famous? No. That dream died when I performed in a school talent show, and it did not go the way I imagined.
Oh no, what happened?
I forgot the words to the song, completely blanked, just stood there in silence for about 5 seconds, which felt like 5 minutes. I was 11. I still think about it.
That's the kind of thing you randomly remember at 2 a.m. and cringe all over again.
Exactly. But you know what's interesting? I think those big childhood dreams, the astronaut, the singer, they tell you something real about yourself. Like, I still love performing and communicating. That's why I do this podcast. The dream changed, but something underneath it stayed the same.
That's a really good point. I think my fascination with space was really about exploration and discovery. And now I'm more interested in exploring ideas, building new things. Same route, different branch.
I love that. Different branch, same route. So how did you get from astronaut to where you are now?
Slowly, and a little accidentally, if I'm honest. I kind of stumbled into tech because a friend introduced me to coding when I was about 17. And I loved it. It felt like building things out of nothing, which is kind of like space, I guess.
A very different kind of rocket science. Okay, let's talk about the professional side of things. Where do you see yourself in, let's say, 5 years, career-wise?
So right now I work as a software developer for a company. It's a good job. I like my team. But honestly, my 5-year goal is to build my own product, like a software tool that solves a real problem for people. I've had this idea for an app for about 2 years now, and I keep putting it off.
What kind of app?
It's actually something for language learners. A bit ironic, given where we are right now. It's a tool that helps people practice speaking, not just reading or listening, because I think that's the gap. Everyone can find ways to study vocabulary, but actually speaking is hard to practice alone.
Oh, that's a genuinely great idea. And it does connect to what we do here.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we'd even collaborate one day. But anyway, 5 years from now, I want to have built that and see if it flies. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. I'd rather try and fail than never try.
I really respect that attitude. That's actually something I struggle with. The fear of trying something and it not working out. What about 10 years?
10 years is harder to imagine. I think by then, I'd love to have some financial stability that gives me freedom. Not like, I want to be a millionaire. More like, I don't want to worry about money every month. And maybe live somewhere I really love. Right now I'm in the city, but I dream about somewhere with nature. Mountains, maybe.
I can see that for you, actually. What about professionally? Do you want to keep building things, or would you want to step back and maybe teach or mentor?
Oh, that's a great question. I think eventually, yes. I'd love to mentor younger developers. I had someone who helped me a lot when I was starting out, and I'd love to do that for someone else. What about you? Where's Sarah in 10 years?
Okay, so I want to be running ClearTalk English as a real full-time thing. Right now, it's kind of a side project. I still have my day job in communications, but my dream is that one day the podcast, the community we're building, that becomes my main work. And I want to be traveling, like really traveling, not the rushed kind, but spending actual time in places, 2 or 3 months somewhere, really living there.
That sounds incredible. Where's the first place on your list?
Portugal. I've been saying Portugal for 3 years. I need to just go.
Just book it, seriously.
I know. We'll come back to that. I want to go a little deeper than just career stuff, though, because I think we all have goals that are more personal about family, health, where we live, how we feel. Do you have any big personal life goals that aren't about work?
Yeah, definitely. One big one for me is health. Not in like a crazy gym obsession way, but just feeling strong and healthy in my body as I get older. My dad had some heart problems in his 50s, and that kind of woke me up. I want to be the dad who can still go hiking with his kids when he's 60.
That's such a meaningful goal. It's not about looking a certain way, it's about being able to live life fully.
Exactly. And actually, family is a huge goal for me. I'd love to have kids someday. I know that's not guaranteed, but it's something I really hope for. And I want to be really present, not the kind of parent who's always working. I grew up with a dad who worked a lot, and I understood why, but I felt his absence sometimes.
Thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of people have that experience, and it shapes what you want for yourself. For me, family goals are important too. I'm actually really close with my parents, and one of my dreams is just to live closer to them. They're about 4 hours away right now, and I miss them a lot.
Oh, that's so sweet. Does that affect your big travel dream?
A little. I think about that. But I believe you can have both. You just have to be intentional about it. And one more personal goal for me, I want to learn to cook properly. Like actually cook, not just make pasta and call it a meal.
Okay, that's very relatable. I consider myself above average at cooking, and my above average is pretty much 3 dishes I make well.
Right, exactly. 3 dishes on rotation. Welcome to adult life. Okay, here's something I really want to dig into, because I think this is where a lot of people get stuck, including me. What do you do when you have too many goals? Like the travel, the business, the health, the family. How do you decide what to focus on?
This is genuinely something I think about a lot, and I've gotten better at it, but it took me a while. I used to have this huge list of goals, and then I'd feel paralyzed because I didn't know where to start. And the result was I'd start everything a little bit and finish nothing.
Yes, that is so me. I'll just do a little bit of everything. And then you look up and 3 months have passed and nothing has moved.
Exactly. So what helped me was asking one question. What's the one goal that if I achieve it would make the other goals easier or not even necessary? And that really clarified things for me. For me right now, it's financial stability. If I have that, everything else becomes easier. The travel, the time with family, the health stuff.
That's a really smart framework. What you're describing is basically identifying your keystone goal, the one that holds everything else up.
Yeah, exactly. And once I figured that out, I stopped feeling guilty about not working on 6 things at once. I just said, okay, this quarter, this is the one.
I like that. I use seasons, like this is my learn and grow season, or this is my build and create season. It helps me feel like I'm not abandoning the other dreams, just putting them on hold for a bit.
Oh, that's a nice way to think about it. You're not giving up, you're just queuing things up.
Queuing up, yes. And also being honest that you're a person with finite time and energy, not a superhero. I want to talk about the hard stuff too, because I think it would be dishonest not to. What's the biggest obstacle you faced in going after your goals?
Honestly, myself. I think the biggest obstacle for me is self-doubt. There's this voice in my head that says, who do you think you are to build something, to create something? And it can be really loud sometimes, especially when you look online and everyone seems to be achieving amazing things.
Oh, that comparison trap is so real. Social media makes everyone look like they have it together.
Exactly. And I had a period about 2 years ago where I basically stopped working on my personal projects for 6 months. I was burnt out. I was doubting everything. And what pulled me out was honestly just a conversation with a friend. She just asked me, why did you start this in the first place? And I remembered. And that was enough to get me moving again.
That's beautiful. Sometimes we just need someone to remind us of our own why. For me, the biggest challenge has been fear of failure. I actually almost didn't start this podcast. I recorded about 4 test episodes, hated them all, and almost quit before I even began.
Really? But you're so natural at this.
Thank you. But trust me, I was not natural at first. I published episode 1 and I literally didn't listen to it for 2 weeks because I was too afraid to hear how bad it was.
And now look at where you are.
And now look at where we are, which is the point. You have to start badly to eventually start well. In terms of staying motivated, what works for you?
2 things. 1, I celebrate small wins. Like if I write 200 lines of code on my app on a Tuesday night, I acknowledge that. I don't wait to celebrate until the whole thing is done. And 2, I tell people my goals, because then I feel accountable. I told 3 friends about the app. Now I can't quit because they'll ask me about it.
Accountability is so powerful. And for me, I come back to my why, written down on paper whenever I feel like giving up. I keep it on my desk. It says, to help people feel confident and connected through language. That's why I do this. When I read that on a hard day, I remember it's bigger than just me. Before we wrap up, I want to ask about the people in our lives. How much do other people matter when it comes to achieving our dreams?
Everything. I honestly believe you cannot do it alone. I've had 2 people who changed my path. A teacher in high school who told me I was good at solving problems, which nobody had ever said to me before. And a senior developer at my first job who took time to mentor me when he didn't have to. Both of those people altered the direction of my life.
That's so powerful. And it shows the impact that just one encouraging word from the right person can have. For me, it's my sister. She's the person I call when I'm scared or stuck. She never tells me to play it safe. She always says, do the scary thing, you'll be fine. And usually she's right.
We all need that person. And I think there's something to be said for also being that person for someone else. You might be someone's mentor without even knowing it.
Absolutely. That's actually one of the reasons I love doing this podcast. The community that's building around it feels like that. People supporting each other, sharing their journeys. Okay, I feel like we could talk about this for another 3 hours, but we should probably wrap up before the listeners go and actually start chasing their dreams instead of listening to us talk about them.
Yes, go chase your dreams, but come back next week.
Exactly. So let me do a quick recap. Today, Mark and I talked about where our dreams started. For him, outer space. For me, the stage. And how those dreams evolved into what drives us today. We talked about career goals, personal life goals, how to prioritize when you have too many things you want. We got into the real stuff too. The fear, the doubt, the obstacles, and what actually helps you keep going.
And we talked about the people who matter, the teachers, the friends, the mentors. Don't forget to appreciate those people.
So beautifully said. Now, here's our question for you in the comments. What is one dream you've had for a long time that you haven't acted on yet? And what's one small step you could take this week to get closer to it? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one.
We really do, and we love hearing from you. It honestly keeps us going.
If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like. It helps more people find ClearTalk English, and that means the world to us. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We put out new content every week.
Thanks so much for spending this time with us. It's been such a great conversation, Sarah.
It really has. Thank you, Mark, and thank you everyone for listening. Keep dreaming, keep working, and we'll see you in the next episode of ClearTalk English. Take care.
Bye, everyone.